Hi there, this is Steve. Some questions have popped up in the forums lately on how to add a background image to a responsive layout maker row. Unfortunately, in the software at this time, there is no way to add that background image to a row or a subgrid or a column of any kind. It only allows us to enter the colors in CSS. So as you see here, I've laid out a nice test little website here, and we're going to change the top row here, that's this purple color, into a tileable, or into a nice background texture. And the file I'm going to use to do this is right here, this nice little background. It's always good to use stuff that's tileable rather than having an image, because as the screen size grows and shrinks, it's going to distort your image. So if it's tileable and you're repeating them across the X and the Y axis, you'll get a nice high resolution image no matter what size your screen size is. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is export this website that you've built. You've probably already done this, but I'm going to export it here anyway. Let's start that again, sorry about that. Okay, so I've exported that. Now the kind of trick to this is you're gonna, if you're not really good at reading the code and understanding whereabouts in the code you're going, a good little trick to do is pick the row that you want, or the column or subgrid. In this case, I know that this purple part is the row, and we see here it's row 2. So what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to go in and I'm going to open up my index page here, and I'm going to look through here to see where row 2 starts, and I know it's right near the top, and row 2 starts right about in here. So this class here, row 2, is actually the class that I'm going to have to make a little bit of custom CSS to redefine what's going to show up in this background. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a custom CSS, and I'm just going to go save as, and down here, and it's just a notepad I'm opening up here, custom.css, and I'm going to save it in the CSS folder here. If it's not already there, navigate to where your CSS files are and save it in there. Okay. Now we need to add the code in here that's actually going to change that background image. So we're going to go row.row.row-2, because that's the one we're trying to edit. Then we're going to add in the code background dash image colon URL bracket image background JPEG, because that's the name of that file in our image folder, that tileable file, and semicolon. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tell it to repeat on the x-axis and the y-axis. Colon repeat dash x repeat dash y semicolon. And that's the magic right there. And we'll go ahead and we'll save this And the next thing we need to do is, if you notice here, I'll just back out. We'll see here that they do make some style sheet calls right within your index file, but we need to add a call in here for the custom CSS that we just created. There's a couple ways you can do this. If this is going to be something that's in your project and you're going to want to work on it again and again and again, well, you're not going to want to every time you re-export your file to add that new style sheet call to the to your website. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to Responsive Layout Maker, and we're going to go to Layouts. I'll just zoom in here and Manage Project. And then here you will see a place to put stuff between your heading tags, and this will go across all the pages on your site, every page that you create within the thing. So I'm going to paste it in there, but you notice it still says main. I'm going to change main to custom, because that's the one we just created, and it's going to be still in my CSS folder. So I'm going to hit OK and save, and I'm going to re-export it again. Okay. So now if I open my editor again, it's going to say there's been changes. Yes, we'll accept the changes. Now you see right in here how it added that in for us. So now we don't have to keep adding that file in every single time we do any kind of modifications on our page. So it's there now, and all we really have to do to manipulate it now is change the code in here. So we've already got this code generated. We've got it, our CSS file. Next thing we want to do is upload it to the server. So I'm just going to refresh the categories here, and I'm going to do my whole, it's just easier, I'll upload my whole CSS folder again. If you look inside of it, you'll see the new custom one there. And then re-upload the index file. And last but not least, don't forget about the image folder. That's where we put our background image right here. So I'm just going to redo the whole image folder. It's not too bad. If I had lots of images in there, of course I wouldn't want to sit here and wait for them all to upload again. I would just upload the individual file. But now that's being said, let's go and check out what our website now looks like. So here's what it looked like before. I'll refresh it, and there we go. Here's what it looks like after. Nice, a nice high resolution textured background across a row, using just a little bit of CSS magic, not too much, and you can get some really nice textured backgrounds on different rows. It'll work on columns, it'll work on subgrid columns. The biggest trick is learning where to look for it in the code. And rumor has it, in the next release of Responsive Layout Maker, there's going to be an inspector, so that inspector will help us define what row we're editing a lot easier. But that's it for this tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the forums, in the Coffee Cup forums, or comment right below here in the YouTube channel. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.